As a reminder as well, this is not the last broadcast of the day. We will be live in a couple of hours with WTL. World Team League is, I say a couple of hours, quite some time. Let me just double check. World Team League is in 6.5 hours. So in 6 hours and 30 minutes, we're going to be live once again with the World Team League. So plenty more StarCraft going on today on the CranKy Ducklings. But here we go. We're here in the grand finals of the KSL. And I should reactivate. There we are. That online, sorry, that overlay is spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Team Abydos. It is Cure. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the best Zerg player in all of South Korea, representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. Here we go. Was I banned for lewd comments? You're always banned, no clone. You're always banned. Didn't let you predict? Oh, you're too slow. Predictions, they were open, and now they're closed. Aye. If you were banned, then you wouldn't be able to talk. I wouldn't be able to see you. Oh my god. As we're getting into this, and so far we do have a hatch gas pool opener here from Dark. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. Everything is as it should be, and I think that's important to point out just because Dark is one that's willing to go for pool first openers. I mean, if you were here earlier when we were casting Dark against Gumiho, 2 out of the 3 games he did go for a pool first. So again, Dark is willing to be aggressive early on. He's willing to go for these early roach timings, but he's not willing to do so here in game 1 against Cure. Meanwhile, this is very odd. Oh my god, Cure, he goes for a Rax expand, but the Rax is actually in his main base. He's not going for a wall off here on the ramp, and he's going straight into that second Rax behind this as well. Oh my god, this is so greedy. He's going for a 2-on-1 opener here. He skips his Marine, he skips his Reaper, he skips his SCV Scout. He doesn't care at all. He gives no... he doesn't care at all about what the hell Dark is doing right now, which is scary. Like, Dark is... I was talking about it before, like, Dark going for a pull first is not unheard of. Like, he's willing to be aggressive. To do this against Dark is very bold. Very bold move. As Dark is diving in with his Overlords, is going to be confirming the factory, is going to be missing the Raxes. So he's working with a bit of incomplete information. Marines are already on the way. We should be working towards Stim. And when I say a 2-1-1, it is 2 Raxes, 1 factory, 1 starport. With this kind of opener, Cure is going to be working towards a Stim timing with Medivacs. And because of how greedy his opener has been, like this is like as efficient and as quick, as fast as possible here. Like, Cure has cut so many corners, skipping any kind of scouting, just being as economic or as efficient as possible here instead. Crazy. Now, thankfully for Dark, he scouts all of this. He should be able to come across the starport as well. He should know that he is safe to drone for a little bit. This usually hits at around the 5-minute mark, but because we cut some corners, this could even hit a little bit earlier. I'm really curious as the starport is going to be confirmed by Dark. And we'll see how much damage this gets done. Now, this doesn't have to, like, end the game or anything like that. Not at all. This doesn't have to do game-ending damage, but this is just a good way to get map control, to force out Lings, to punish the Zerg player if they drone too much, get Overlords, get Queens, deny creep, just have map control, and then we can expand behind it. As those 2 Medivacs are on the way, and once they come out, once they pop out, then Cure is going to be able to be active on the map behind this. Dark is responding with an Evo chamber. Again, because of the timing that he saw the starport and the factory, he is fully aware of the opener that his opponent is going for. And Yeah, we'll see what Dark can get away with. He's actually been droning up quite a bit here, up to 50, which is probably like the most amount of drones that you want to work with here at this point. We have Carapace on the way, Lings are in production, Queens are in position as well, and Dark should be able to deflect this without losing too much. This should not get out of control. Ling gets across the map, gets a bit of scanning information. Dark confirms the third CC. He knows that it's not a 2-base all-in. And as the Marines push forward again, there's going to be a bit of a dance here from Kira. He can't overcommit. If he does, he will be losing a little bit too much, so he has to kind of poke and prod here on the edges of creep, deny whatever creep he can pick off Overlords. Oh, as we are reinforcing immediately with a third medevac. My god. Okay. We're going to be doubling down quite aggressively here. At least Kira is. Looks like he's trying to find another way in. The army is out here in between the bases, and we could maybe try to head towards the main base. No, we're going to be heading towards the fourth instead. Depending on the timing, we're going to be able to deny this fourth base. Fourth is going to get forced back. Drone goes down. A good chunk of tumors go down as well. Again, a good amount of damage is being dealt here by Kira as he picks up and he drops into the main. Now behind this, Dark did throw down a Roach Warren, so he's going to be going for Ling Roach Ravager. Interesting composition. Marines a stim on forward. We do have a mine ready to go. Dark's got to be careful. Can't afford to take a mine shot to the face. As Kira just picks up and backs off. Dark forced to expand here towards the south, which is a really awkward base to take. It is so far out. So far out on the map, it's so much more exposed, and Kira's headed right for it. At the same time, we do have a massive Ling counterattack. That means that the Lings aren't at home to defend. Kira, he takes this opportunity to just dive on forward, and he's going to force a cancel on the fourth base. That is almost done. Up. Ooh. Does force that cancel again, just containing Dark here to only 3 bases across the map. We only lost 2 SCVs as well. Kira taking minimal losses here. Dark really struggling. I mean, thankfully he's going for a larva efficient army, in a way. Like, it's not supply efficient, but it is in a way larva efficient, going for mainly roaches and ravagers. We're working towards an infestation bit, working towards infestors as well. Oh, is it looking? Oh, barely. He is looking in time. He does avoid those biles. Meanwhile, another drop here. Oh, Dark, he just can't expand. That's a kill, not a cancel, by the way. He just wants a base, Papi. That's all he wants. Ah! As Kira is there at every turn, he picks up, he goes into the main. The macro hatch is under threat. Another force here towards the south as well, looking to maybe even punish the southern bases. The Queens get focused down. Oh, and this is snowballing out of control. To be fair, Dark's main army is still quite strong, still quite powerful. He has been able to preserve his roaches and ravagers. But he's just having a really hard time keeping up. And at a certain point, we may just have to commit. May just have to go all in. We'll see. As Dark is finally going to be able to saturate his bases. His drone count finally coming into play. Marines a stim on forward, and they take down quite a lot of these tumors as well. The Ling's having a hard time trading here against the Marines. And this is where Kira's in his comfort zone. The multi-prong, the mass drop play, the focus firing of the Bailings and the Ravagers as well. Takes the Bailing to the face. Not ideal, but regardless, like, again, he's all about the mass drop style. One of the faster players out there. He does this a lot in TVP as well, which is why it's always fun to watch. And this entire time, that tank count has been getting higher and higher. He's only been harassing with drop play. Now here comes the main army. Now here comes the main force here of Cure. Waddling across the map. Dark doesn't even have Bailing speed. Oh my god. Oh, The splits were a little bit lacking. The Biles connect with those Metamax. Good Baneling connections despite not having Baneling speed. And with that, Dark is going to be able to force this back. He's not going to allow this army to siege up. Fifth is going to get cancelled once again, but at least we have a fourth base. At least Dark is able to get bottom left up and running. Dark has been able to max out. Oh, these Vipers. Oh, get him out of here. So Dark is still holding on. He, even though he hasn't really had too much momentum in this game, he's doing a good job at stabilizing. And Dark is stabilizing, bear that in mind. Cure getting a fourth base behind this. Before Dark can even think about a fifth. Preserve his fifth even. And yeah, we have Cure just continuing to push on forward here. He wants those Vipers. Can he get them? It looks like Parasite Bomb's going to be thrown down. The tanks are exposed. Dark is taking an amazing fight, and he's going to be able to clean up every single one of these tanks and the Marines as well. Dark had a hard time getting into the mid game here. He had a hard time stabilizing, but that was the fight that he needed. The tanks that Cure had been building up this entire game just thrown down the drain. And with that, Dark should now be able to expand. He should now be able to get a fifth base up and running. Liberators are being cleaned up as we speak. Cure, he still has done a really good job at keeping the creep at bay, but now he's mainly focused on a Marine army, on a Bioforce. Doesn't have as much pushing power, but Dark is out of position. Uh-oh. Completely out of position. Cure, he catches a mineral line. Can he get the base as well? It's going to be close. It looks like he cannot get the hatchery, but he gets 19 drones. Oh my god. Dark was distracted by the drop. He was anticipating a move here into his main instead. And we're going for a base trade. Cure, he goes for the drop. He wants to clean up that hatchery. He's got another drop here, pushing into the natural base, and Cure decides to completely give up his third. He has tanks on the high ground. Oh, Dark, he can't commit. He has to turn back around. Very smart move here. Very, very wise choice by Cure. So confident here, recognizing that he'd be able to defend back at home perfectly against these ultras. And he knocks Dark down to 3 bases. Oh. Yeah, he's even going to be able to bring down this Ultra as well. The upgrades, though. Kindness plating alongside +3. The Ultra refuses to die. But Dark, his economy is in shambles. Doesn't really have too much to speak of. And he has to turn everything back around. And we'll see if Dark can stabilize. Again, Cure also hasn't had the best economy. His 4th is very late. He was very committed on 3 bases for a very long time. And Dark does have ultras. That's something to bear in mind. The ultra count from Dark isn't looking too shabby here. He's got 5 ultras. So I do think, especially now that he has all of his upgrades, or at least his armor upgrades, like he can still take a fight. Things can go his way, but look at all those ghosts. The anti-ultra. Dark is going to try to advance on here. He's going to try to push out. But I don't think he can break this as the snipes go up. Oh, 2 ultras go down instantly. Same time, a little bit of a link counterattack. Not really finding too much. Dark is re-establishing these bases. He's going to be able to remax. Go link counterattack is underway. Meanwhile, a massive fungal does connect on the Marines and the Marauders. Another fungal as well on these ghosts. Cure, not really been able to avoid them at all, but he gets the hatchery nonetheless. At the same time, a lot of spine time here across the map as well. But the reinforcements should be able to clean this up. Yeah, the snipes go off. The Ultra run by. This is an expensive loss here for Dark. The SCVs are chasing the Ultras away as we do pull back. Infestors. This Cure is going to be rotating around now towards the south, I imagine. No, yeah, actually, he's going to keep on pushing. Never mind. He's thinking about it. No. Dark trying to remax here on more Ultras, more Infestors. They can work here for Dark. As I think what's interesting to me is that Cure is still going to be committing here on this same side of the map. Because of this, like, Dark is going to be able to expand towards the south a little bit uncontested. He's going to be able to get his 4th up and running, working towards his 5th as well. Cure is still adamant about pursuing damage here towards the north. And it makes sense because if he's able to gain momentum here at this triangular third, it's like direct access into the natural. And that just wins the game. Like, the game will just end if Cure breaks this position. So I can understand how tempting it is to like keep pressuring here. But I think this is a wiser choice from Cure. He is going to be rotating around. Is going to be going for a more safer, secure way to win. Instead of risking it all by trying to push into the natural. So he does come across the army. We get a massive fungal on the Ghost. The Vials as well. Ooh, they're going to be missing the Ghost, but they do get one of those tanks. Oof. It's almost an amazing moment for Dark. And yeah, the Marines are just pushing on forward as well. Dark going to be losing his fringe bases at the same time. He goes for a massive counterattack. The Planetary is going to try and hold on, but the Ultras get the surround. The top base will fall here for Cure. We're trading a base for a base, but Dark is not slowing down. He wants another Planetary. Likewise, Cure should also keep on pushing, but the Infestors are slowing him down. If he does overextend, he's going to get fungled, and it looks like Dark is winning out here in these trades. He gets another mining base, another Planetary. As we do see Cure just pushing on forward here. Cure's being forced all in. He's down to 23 SCVs. He doesn't have an economy remaining. He just lost all of his mining bases. It's all or nothing here for Cure. We have a surround being set up. It's been a long, hard-fought battle here for Dark. But he can afford to lose a hatchery. He has the northern bases instead. He has other mining bases. Dark has to just take this slow, take this steady. And yeah, I think the armor supplies are still in favor of Cure. Like, Cure still has a larger army, especially with these reinforcements. So this is still up in the air. Like, Cure is all in, but he can win. It's still very close. Very close as another base is being taken. Cure double expanding as we speak. Oof, he has to be careful not to get fungled. One fungal, one swift move, and that could be all it takes. Here we go. There it is. Okay, we got a fungal on the Vikings. Not quite on the Ghosts, but a couple of Vikings do go down. Another fungal is being set up. Another hatchery is going to be going down. As Cure is just, yeah, gaining more ground here. Oh, we do see a couple of neurals here on these tanks. Gonna be picking them off. this time we do get the scan, though. We do preserve that tank. Oh, these infestors, they're doing so much for Dark, just slowing down the army. Oh, the MP! Oh, it does miss. He gets a snipe. He gets another snipe. Oh my god, the ghost is crazy. It's cracked, Papi. Absolutely cracked. Secure loses a couple too many units. Another neural comes in. Another couple of snipes go off. Oh my god, 1, 2, 3 ghosts go down. Wait, Dark should play Terran. Oh my god, just continuing to neural units after unit. The ultras are getting ready to dive on in. That ghost account that used to be terrifying, we're down to only 5 ghosts. That's all we have left. We're waiting to pull the trigger. We're waiting for that one moment for the full surround. Oh, we can't push in too soon though. Another neural. Forcing another scan. Dark getting ready for it. I was about to say surround. No, he's going for a counterattack instead. Uh-oh. I guess there are too many tanks. I guess his position is too entrenched. Dark, when he tries to go for the counterattack, he runs into a wall of tanks. He's going to have to go for the surround. The Unsiege! No! The Unsiege! Just the wrong moment. The Ultras, they dive on in. And here we go. Here come the Infestors. Can we get the Fungals? We can. The entire Terran army gets fungled. This is the best case scenario for Dark. Oh my god. All the tanks on siege. The bio bunched up. It couldn't have been more perfect. The stars aligned. And Cure, he has almost nothing left. He's got 5 ghosts, sorry. Does have plenty of reinforcements back at home. Still has a comparable army. Yeah, Cure is just getting in position. Has been able to establish these bases. To be fair, like, these bases have been mining the entire time. The mules are real. Cure, he's still in this. So is Dark in a way, but Dark, his economy is looking a little bit worse, unfortunately. He is lacking the gas. Like, without any of these gas guys just mining, Dark is actually in a really rough place. Even though he had a really good fight, even though he has a decent army, Cure is going to be able to bounce back that much harder with all these gases. I'm loving all the neurals. I'm loving all these neurals. Ay, ay, ay. Taking down more libs. Yeah, we still have 0 gas mining, by the way. Dark is still only making drones and lings. As amazing as that fight was earlier, I think I don't know how Dark can bounce back here. Like, he's broke, and Cure isn't. That's the reality of the situation. Cure can make an army and Dark can't. He can make lings, and that's a poor excuse for an army right now. Long gone are the days of the ultras. These infestors, what you see is what you get. No more vipers. No more parasitic bombs or blinding clouds. This has been a very scrappy game, though. Oh yeah, and as Stato was saying in the chat, you actually cannot neural a full medevac. It won't let you. Whether it's a medevac or a warp prism or a drop a lord, if a unit is inside it, it won't let you. It won't let you neural. I think that's in I think Fear Dragon has like a fun facts for that, or like a useless fun facts. No, that's another infestor goes down. Like, the best chance that Dark has right now, like, even though Dark has a pretty low tier army, Because of these infestors, this low tier army could suddenly transform into a high tier army. Just because he can neural the ghosts, he can neural the tanks. Dark can take control of some of Cure's key units, and if that does happen, then he can take a fight. Can take a better fight. Meanwhile, infestation bit goes down. Evo Chamber Overlord. This one drop of Marines getting out of control. Aye, aye, aye. And things are going to be settling down a little bit. Oh my god. Meanwhile, we have a flanking fungal. Up. The burrow as well keeps the infestor alive. Kira's taking this slow just because he doesn't know how far ahead he is. He doesn't know, well, he doesn't know what kind of army he's playing against. So he's just slowly turtling up, maxing out, relying on only drop play. Only drop play here from Cure. Dark trying to find a way in. And yeah, we're just going to be waiting here until Cure is feeling confident enough to move out with his army. That's basically what's happening right now. Dark.
Simulation successful.
Dark has been able to establish another base. He's mining gas finally. He did make an ultra earlier. So far, only one additional ultra has been made. Dark has not rebuilt his infestation pit, so he actually can't make infestors. So likewise, he hasn't been able to rebuild the infestors. He's banking lings in his main. Just pure ling is what Dark is working with right now. He refuses to drone. Oh boy, and that means it's one and done. Dark has one fight in him. One more fight, and here we go. The lings. He's pulling the trigger. He's going for a massive counterattack. The base is going to be denied. Oof. Another neural. Tries to EMP those ghosts. The lings do go for a massive counterattack. They catch a tank. They catch a lot of SCVs. Oh, can they bust into the natural? Up, up, up. They barely do not. They get one tank. And 14 SCVs to be fair. Meanwhile, we can see Cure losing a lot of SCVs here to these Ling counterattacks. These are orbitals, not planetaries. But at the same time, these are losses that Cure can afford. And oh, we get a good fungal. Up, the biles. Cure wasn't paying attention. He loses a little bit too much on the front lines. Loses 33 SCVs as well. His worker count is plummeting. But he holds onto his orbitals and he has mules. That's the thing. A couple of fungals are going to be connecting as well. And again, I do think that this has just been a slow victory here for Cure. The Ling harass is good, don't get me wrong. It's definitely hurting Cure. But Dark is down to half a mining base. Dark, he's fighting his heart out.
Assimilation successful.
Trying to keep up with all these neurals. We've been able to rebuild the Vipers at least. We still can't rebuild the Infestors because we don't have an Infestation Pit. Fun fact, you don't actually need an Infestation Pit to make Vipers, just the Hive. Ugh. As we have Snipes coming down, we have a couple of Power Bombs as well. And this is going to be the final stand of Dark. It's all or nothing from here on out. Ling's going for another counterattack once again. Crippling the economy here of Cure. And hey, with like Cure's economy is also like not looking too great here. But again, Cure is mining from a base and Dark isn't. Dark has he has 2 hatcheries left. He's long distance mining. That's how dire this situation is. And even from the base that he's long distance mining, he only has 1 mineral patch left as well. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so what he needs to do, Dark needs to neural every tank. Okay, he needs to catch the army unsieged. Can land with the fun. No, that's okay. GG gets cool. As Cure will take finally game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Whew. There we go. After a long back and forth, Dark, he was fighting his heart out, but eventually he is forced to tap out, and yeah, as a result, GG, well played. Congratulations. Congratulations. Ooh. To our Korean Terran player there, and now we're going to be getting into game 2. My God, that was game 1. That was wild. That was crazy, Poppy. That was crazy. Oh my God. It was quite back and forth as well. There were moments for both players, don't get me wrong. Initially, Cure had so much control of the map. He was just denying 4th and 5th base time and time again. He was out positioning and just pulling Dark apart, let's be real. And then Dark had an amazing fight. He had a couple of really crucial moments where he was able to swallow up the army. If you remember, there was the first time that Cure moved out on the southern portion of the map with all of his tanks, where Cure lost every single tank that he had. And afterwards, there was that moment where Cure got completely surrounded, where he unsieged his tanks. Ultras came in, and Dark was able to get a really efficient fight going as well. Unfortunately, Dark just never had a really good economy. He was never able to really build up a bank and really have a higher quality army as a result as well. He was struggling as the game went on. So GG, very well played. To be fair, that's also one of the features of Babylon. Babylon is a map that does favor aggressive Terran play quite a bit, just because of the positioning, the tank positionings as well. Yeah, as a result, whew, I'm sure Dark is okay with just shaking that off and getting into this. Oh, let's go. Dark only has 5 ghosts left. As we are going to be taking a moment here. Whew. Going to be taking a moment just to... Okay, hold on, just... Un momento. To get into the lobby, to get into the game. Beautiful. We're all filing in. Game 2 is going to be taking place on Ancient Cistern, and... as intense as game 1 was, I do imagine that Cure is going to have a harder time doing the same on some of these larger maps. Maps like Ancient Cistern, maps like Greswan as well. I do expect Dark to have an easier time in the mid-game, but we'll see. We'll see how it all does come to pass. Let's go. Series will continue. And if the game 1 has any bearing on the rest of this series, mate, we're in for a good one. And now we're going to be diving into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, of Ancient Cistern, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the best Zerg player in all of South Korea, representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of his opponent of Ancient Cistern, we have the South Korean Terran representing Team Abydos, leading the series 1-0, taking game number 1. It is Cure. Ooh. Oh boy, all right. Need to take a moment to take a breath and let's go. I need a moment to take a breath, but you know what? Kira, he will not let me as he's going for the Beyond opener. I was talking about it before, but yes, the Beyond opener has been, or is being sprinkled in now by a lot of the other Korean Terran players. Not just the Korean Terrans, but also some of the other foreigner Terrans as well, like Hero Marine, like Clem, like Special. Beyond has become a trendsetter. You know, now people are following suit, and unlike Beyond, they don't do it every game, but they do sprinkle it in mid-series, and Kira's going for the 2x opener. Now, this shouldn't be too much of a surprise. If you were here last week for ESL Open Cup Asia, Kira did this, I think 4 out of the 5 games against Dark. Kira did this a lot against Dark in last week in ESL Open Cup Asia. And every single time, this is the difference between Kira and Beyond. Every single time he 2-axed Dark, he went for a 4-ax follow-up. Without fail. Without fail, every single game that Kira opened up with a 2-ax, it was for a 4-ax follow-up. Is he going to switch things up, or is he going to be continuing to be going for the same build, the same follow-up here, time and time again? That's the downside here, is that unlike Beyond, Kira doesn't have as much variety and versatility with this opener. It doesn't feel that way, at least. But we'll see. As we should be getting that CC, and behind that, we should be getting a 3rd and 4th barracks, but we'll keep an eye on things. Behind this, Dark going for a hatch gas pool. Queens are on the way, Lings as well. Gonna be coming out in time here to fend off the first Reaper. And yeah, he's going to be able to at least tango here with these Lings. Back and forth, but nothing major, no major damage. We're only making 3 Reapers, and I stand corrected. Well, I mean, in a way I stand corrected. Last week, Kira did go for 4x every single time, but he is mixing things up. He isn't going for a 4x. It is going to be a factory instead. And now the question becomes, can Dark figure this out? Can Dark read this correctly? As for the time being, Dark is in the dark. The Overlord is being swatted away. So far, he's only seen the first couple of Hellions, the first couple of Reapers, which is normal, by the way. This is what we expect to be seeing. And we'll see if Dark cuts workers here at 40. If he cuts workers at 40 drones, and if he makes a massive amount of Lings, then he would be hard countering a 4x, which isn't what's coming his way. There we go. It is a 2-1-1 instead. Dark, for the time being, going to be saturating his base. He's going to be taking more Queens. And he still has to piece together what exactly is going on. It is going to be a 2-1-1 into the 3rd TC. So a very standard follow-up here. Not too aggressive. With this, of course, we're going to be hitting a timing with Stim and with our 2 medevacs. We're looking to be a little bit active. Oh, he's doing the Beyond there. He's going for the Beyond 2-on-1. This is for a Banshee. Oh, let's go, Papi. Let's go. This happened earlier today or yesterday. The days are blending together. This happened yesterday. I want to say in WTL. Yeah, yesterday in WTL when we casted Shopify Rebellion. This is something that Beyond, specifically Beyond and Maru, they do this. They go for a 2-on-1 variation, but they mix in Cloak Banshees. Why? Because there's no reason to get spores. There's no reason to get spores if you're up against a 2-on-1. You don't need spores against medevac play at all. The Banshees are the last thing you expect here if we're following meta, if we're following like tendencies. This is inefficient from Cure. But the inefficiency here is what catches the Zerg player off guard, and this can get out of hand. Cure should be hiding the first Banshee, waiting for the second Banshee, coming in together, and again, if we don't have detection, these Banshees could do a devastating amount of damage. Here we go, as Hellions and Marines are going to be shooing away these Lings. Dark joining up quite happily, thankfully. He did not, misread this in any way, shape, or form. I need to look at the vision here of Dark as well. If he does come across this Banshee, Cure, he's not going for 2. Interesting. He invests into Cloak, but he's only getting 1 Banshee. As Dark does see this coming ahead of time. Queens should be rotating over, but it looks like Dark actually didn't see it. Uh-oh. He didn't spot it until now. Banshee does dive in. We do have the cloak, and damage is being done. This is what I was worried about. This is why this is such a good play here for Cure, because the last thing you expect is a Banshee, and this is this is too much damage. We're gonna get 9. We're gonna get 10 drone kills, maybe 11. Oh, 12. Okay, we gotta transfuse. 12, 13. This is a mineral line. This is game-ending damage being done right now by one Banshee. That's why, like, in a way, it's quote-unquote inefficient because it delays your 2-on-1 drop. But it's worth it if this happens. It's worth it if it goes unscattered because it does an insane amount of damage. Secure working or using, like, the meta to his advantage, using, like, tendencies and pro, like, efficiency to his favor, inefficiency to his favor in a way. As the double drop has rocked up, more lings get shaved off, and Dark's in some trouble. Well, he's been forced to re-drone. He's been forced to spend a lot of money on droning. Lings are here to defend. We're going to get a full surround, and this drop should be forced back. Dark does hold on. But re-droning, it does slow him down. It does slow down his tech. It slows down his upgrades. +1, plus... Oh, sorry. Bailing speed still on the way. More drones are going to be going down as well. Oh, my God. As the Banshee is not done doing damage. Meanwhile, Cure is being set up on the low ground as well, but it looks like Dark with the surround is going to be able to clean this up. He's already diving on top of this tank. We do see Cure being very efficient, though. Oh my God, he cleans up the lings on the high ground. The tank survives. Uh-oh. That wasn't anti-timing. +1 melee finishes up after the fight did end. The tank was caught unsieged for a moment there, so Dark was able to clean up a couple of extra Marines. But this push has already done so much damage. Even if he gets cleaned up now, like, he's already traded so damn well. Queens will be falling. Lings coming from behind. Tank finally going to get cleaned up. We just load up and drop into the main. Oh, can we get the Overlord? Up! Up! Can get the Overlord. Meanwhile, at the same time, another double drop here towards the north. Another hatchery is going to be going down. Dark is being pulled apart. And yeah, that's it. GG. I was about to talk about how Dark has to do something crazy to come back in this game, but he's not even going to try at that point. Just too much damage too early on. GG gets called, and Cure takes game number 2. Once again, completely pulling apart Dark with a different opener, to be fair, going for the 2 racks into a 2-on-1. And this can be something that you can try yourself on the ladder, where you don't get a reactor on your factory. You get a tech lab on your factory instead, and you go for a Banshee first instead of 2 medevacs. So I imagine, especially at lower... I say that. At lower levels, Zerg players may just throw down safety spores anyway, just because they don't know what's... they may not know what's going on, just to be safe. But at the highest level of play, because you want to be as efficient as possible, if you can get away with not throwing down spores, then you don't throw them down, right? You don't want to waste your drones, you don't want to waste your resources, and Cure punishes that. Oh. GG, well played. So, that was kind of the setup here. The setup to the domino effect. The domino effect of the mass drop play. The positional play as well. Cure just snowballed out of control. Oh, trading so damn well. And now he's one game away. One game away from becoming this week's champion. Will Dark bring the cheese? That is a good question. This isn't a bad map for it. The problem, like, this is the power of the 2 racks opener, though, is that it deters cheese. That's the thing, right? Like, because you're starting with 3 Reapers already, you have so much scouting information, and you can shut down, like, early Roach Warrens as well. There are ways to punish it. Ragnarok has shown us that. I do think that Bane Bust can work very well here against the Terran player, especially on Gressvan, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. We'll see if we even get a 2-Rax opener, to be fair. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresvan, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming, the best Zerg player in South Korea, down 0-2 in this best of 5 grand finals. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gresvan, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Team Abydos, going for the 2-Rax opener once again. It is Cure. GG. Now, if you were tuning in yesterday, we were casting the Africa TV Champions Cup qualifiers, the Korean qualifiers. And we saw Björn play against Ragnarok. We were fortunate enough to tune in to Björn versus Ragnarok. VODs are going to be available on YouTube, as this is a pool first. Oh my god. And Björn went for his 2-Rax opener every game, as you can imagine. To be fair, Björn went for a 2-Rax opener into 4-Rax every game. And Ragnarok completely clowned all over Björn. But the reason for that is because the weakness of a 4-Rax is your delayed factory and your delayed starport. So Bane Bust can work so well for the Zerg player in that situation. To be fair, even though we've been seeing these 2-Rax openers from Cure, he hasn't been going for the 4-Rax. He has been mixing it up. Last game he went for the 2-on-1 instead. So as much as I would love to see something like that from Dark, I don't think that would be the wisest of choices here against Cure. More so against Björn, as Dark is going for a Roach Rush. Bold move here by Dark. Bold move. If Cure is able to scout this ahead of time, he should be fine. If he's able to recognize what's going on, we should be seeing some bunkers on the low ground. We should be seeing some SCVs pulled, and these roaches shouldn't do too much damage. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how committed this is going to be from Dark, and we'll see if Cure is able to scout this as well. As Cure is going to be diving across the map, he's going to be scouting the delayed hatchery, so he knows it's a pull first. From here, he should be going into the main base and scouting to see if there is a Roach Warren or if there's something else going on. So far, the Queen is going to be zoning away the Reaper, but no, he dives on in. He knows how important the scout is. He confirms the Roach Warren. He sees the Roaches as they pop out. He knows to be defensive. Will lose a Reaper. That is a pretty big blow, but here we go. I was talking about this earlier today when we were casting Gumiho. When we were casting Gumiho versus Dark, actually. And I was talking about how the quote-unquote correct way to defend against a Roach Rush here, when you're going for a 2-Rax opener, is to get a bunker on this side of the map, on the outer side of your production, because this protects your Raxes, this protects your add-ons as well. You're able to get this up and running in time, get your Marauders inside, but there was a bit of a delay on that bunker. If the bunker doesn't finish, the Cure's in trouble. Up, it's gonna be close. The SCV is gonna go down. A couple more boys are being pulled. Marauder has barely arrived in time. Oh, and the bunker will finish. Now, we still need a couple more SCVs here. We still need to repair this bunker and keep it alive, as the SCVs haven't been pulled. God, a lot of these roaches are getting very low. But here we go. The boys have arrived. We're going to be able to top up this bunker, and Cure has defended. So, okay, this is why I was criticizing Gumiho a little bit in his series against Dark. But to be fair, if you remember, I was also pointing out that the difference was that Gumiho was actually rushing into his factory faster because he wasn't getting his add-ons on his Raxes. Now, because Cure, of course, had that tech lab on the way, he can go straight into bunker production. He can go straight into Marauder production, and he deflects this. And now we are going to be stabilizing. I'm going to be getting into a bit of a longer game. Third base is on the way. Dark wasn't all in. Ideally, Dark would have loved to have broken the natural and delayed the economy, but he wasn't quite able to do so. Instead, he has to back off, drone up instead, saturate his bases, and move on from here. And what's the follow-up going to be? Oh, we have a third Rax. Uh-oh. We have a third Rax available for Cure, so this is looking not like a 4-Rax. From here, you can go into a factory as well. We do have a lot of Marines and Marauders available, but because it's only a 3-Rax, we shouldn't be committing. Yeah, there's the factory. So this is just designed for map control. We clean up creep, we kill overlords. We shouldn't really feel, or Cure shouldn't really feel pressure to dive into one of these bases. That's the thing with the 4-axe. The 4-axe is so much more committed. You have to do damage with it. So there's so much more pressure on the Terran to force the issue and to sometimes overcommit and dive into mineral lines or dive on top of bases. Because it's only a 3-axe opener from Cure, like he doesn't have to. He just pokes in, pokes out, backs off. He forces a reaction out of Dark, forces Lings to be made. And Cure does the sensible thing and he races back home. If he did push onto creep, he would have lost everything. Dark is so ready for a surround. He's so ready for an engagement. Again, very wise of Cure to back off. And he's taking a defensive position instead. Oh, he does go for the salvage. Meanwhile, Dark is about to rock up. He's looking for the surround. Uh-oh. Cure is in a lot of trouble. He has to be careful here not to get surrounded by those Lings. It's going to be a very delicate dance. Already does force out one stim. If he ever gets surrounded, his army will be bowed down. There we go. Boys are being pulled. They have to be. We're going to be forcing another stim on this army. Ay, ay, ay. But we're getting on top of the Ravagers. We're getting on top of the Lings as well. And this is a big loss for Dark. Oof. Now, to be fair, the army is heavily overstimmed, to be fair. And we do have a little less mining time. But again, Dark is all in. The backbone of his army are these Ravagers. He already lost a big chunk of them. He can't lose any more. As he is zoning the army away, he's trying to find a way into the natural, but a hot lift on that depot. Reinforcements are on the way. Val's going to be missed. No, even more Ravagers go down. Up. Does take a bow to the face, but it's worth it. Every single Ravager will fall. Only one survives, but we get a full surround. Uh-oh. This may still be a better trade for Cure. It's close. It's very close. Ay, ay, ay. Both players are hurting. But Cure is ahead in the economy. It goes to show how far ahead he was. He loses 18 SCVs and he still has a worker lead. Until now. Dark just droned. Dark just made a massive wave of drones. He's backing off. Likewise, Cure is pushing out. The medevacs have arrived. We have a third CC on the way. That was a scary moment. Dark was able to deal enough economic damage to even things up. But I would say more or less things have evened up. There's still a lot of potential here with the drop play of Cure. He dives in. Shouldn't find an Overlord. Is going to try and pick off maybe a Queen. Oh, but is unable to get it. Ling's going to be going down. Yo, we do focus down that Ravager. We get the Queen as well. We're going to get the Roaches. This drop is getting out of hand. We're just focusing down as many drones as we can. Oh, no, the one Marine was left behind. No. Feels bad, man. But that was an insane amount of damage. How many Queens? We got one Queen. I think we got one Ravager. We were able to get 3 Roaches as well as quite a lot of drones. 23 drones. Oh my god. My apologies. So I was focusing on the drop here. We had another drop towards the south as well just to add on to the damage. Oh my. And you know, I was hoping it wouldn't be a 3-0. But this is not a good start for Dark. He's bleeding out so much. He was all in before, so he didn't even have a good economy to begin with. And for him to lose 23 drones just like this, it doesn't bode well. Does not bode well here for the Zerg player. He's going towards 1-1. Creep is being denied. I mean, this 1-1 timing from Dark is going to hit well. I do think that he's going to have to basically go for another all-in. A follow-up committed push with the timing of these upgrades. I think that's what he's doing. He's making more Roaches as we speak. Ooh, a full medevac goes down. Cure. A little bit of a blunder there. Another medevac will fall as well. We're going to be able to get every single one of these Queens. But we're losing a lot of Marines and Marauders. Cure not trading too efficiently at all. Gotta be careful not to throw away too much supply as Dark is moving out across the map. He hasn't droned in quite some time. He's making nothing but roaches and ravagers. He's going to be laying siege upon the third base. We do have 2 tanks behind this, so I think the natural is going to be safe and secure. I can't say the same about the third. SCVs, they have to be pulled. Oh no! The SCVs are stuck! 9 SCVs go down immediately. Dark, he's fighting back. After he denies the third, he drones. I appreciate it. He's trying to transition out of this. He's trying to recover economically, and so far he's doing a good job at it. Dark is bouncing back. Bit of a combination of Cure overextending as well as not quite seeing the army moving out across the map. We do see that, yeah, Dark has been able to pull his way back into this. Still not amazing for him, but better than it once was. We have 2-2 on the way. Oh, sorry, 2-1 on the way. We have a Bailey Nest, Infestation Pit. Where's he looking? Oh! He's looking. Is looking. He's able to pull back in time. The chat, the Marine was using his last stim to chase after the meta. Ah, smooch. Not like this. As we do see Cure just trying to be active with what little he has, but alas, he just can't really contest against the main army of Dark. We see another drop towards the south instead, but there have been roaches split off here. They should be able to deal with this. Yeah. Only get a queen. Dark is able to establish his 4th base behind this Cure. Also, 4th is on the way. We've got +3 attack as well. My god, the upgrade advantage here from Cure is going to be crazy. Going to be absolutely insane. But I don't really know if Cure is going to move out anytime soon. As I say that though, he has 6 tanks. Oh boy. Now, if you remember, the last time he moved out with 6 tanks on Babylon, he lost his army. So he has to be very careful with how he engages. As he forces his way through the center of the map, tanks are sieging on the high ground. There we go, as we do leapfrog forward. Now, Dark is going to have to try to set up a surround. Bailing speed still on the way. I love how we stagger the siege of these tanks. There we go, Dark moving behind the army with his roaches, with his lings. The surround will soon be upon us. And we don't really have that many Marines or Marauders to protect this. And here we go, Dark is looking to swallow up the entire army. He gets on top of the tanks, he gets on top of the bio. This happened last time as well. Cure loses everything. This happens more often than not. Oh, but the drop play though. 5 drones go down. Can we focus on the hatchery? We cannot. At the same time, we drop into the main base, but Lings are waiting for Cure. Oh, the biles! The biles! Oh my god, we weren't looking. 3 medevacs go down. Cure is falling apart. His attention was elsewhere. His attention was on the southern drop instead. Couple too many mistakes all happening at once. Not like this, Papi. Not like this. Now, thankfully, the macro of Cure is still pretty solid, and even though he's behind in overall supply, like he has a more efficient army. The army of Dark is very supply inefficient, just because of the roaches and ravagers. They do take a lot of supply. They're inflated, if you will. But we have the Hive. We have spellcasters. Vipers help make up for that. Vipers, they help increase the quality of the army here of Dark. Well, meanwhile, Cure tries to force his way through the center of the map once again. Drop sips into the main. A couple of drones are going to get picked up. Center base is going to be denied. Oh, and that's a kill, not a cancel. Ay, ay, ay. That's another kill as well over towards the left. 2 hatcheries go down in the blink of an eye. The tanks, they get caught sieging up, even get caught unsieged. And we do see Cure. He's got to get the hell out of here. Oh, even taking a bailing to the face. At the same time, though, we have drop play going in. Biles connecting with the drops of Cure. But can he get the spawning pool? It's going to be close. Oh, he's not targeting it down. He's not targeting the spawning pool. He could have gotten it. Oh, as more Biles will connect. Adrenal will finish. The spawning pool will survive. And Cure also being stretched to his limits. Meanwhile, he just picked up his main. He picked up his main to take as a 4th base. He's got a 5th on the way as well. Oh. This goes to show how aggressive Cure wants to be. And it looks like this is going to pay off for him. He should be able to deny another hatchery. There we go. Another cancel. Oh, the army sims on forward as well. We have, I think, 1 or 2 bailings. The bailing not gonna connect with the army. The Biles will once again taking down another medevac. Who needs anti-air when you have Biles? Oh, but the drop play just does not stop. Oh, another kill on that hatchery. Meanwhile, we drop into the main as well. Dark once again can't keep up. He does have a 3rd, and he's slowly getting the center 4th base, thankfully. But Cure is relentless. At every turn, he is there to just try to stop Dark from expanding. And here we go. The main push is pushing through the center of the map. No bailings are ready for this. Without bailings, I don't know if we can defend, I'll be honest. We got Vikings zoning away those Vipers. No blinding clouds. The tanks do too much in the back line. G gets called. And Cure does it. Oh my god, in such an amazing fashion. He takes down Dark 3-0, becoming this week's KSL champion. GG, well played. Oh, just far too much. Dark could not keep up. He was broken. He couldn't even afford supply to counterattack across the map. As we saw in that final fight, Dark had 0 bailings left. Not just 0 bailings, he had, I want to say, 2 or 3 Vipers, and they were being zoned away by the Vikings. The Vikings, they were off towards the north, pushing those Vipers away, so 0 blinding clouds as well. Dark could not hold on to his bases. He was being starved out. GG gets called. And Cure, he does it. He fights back so very hard. Damn. GG. Deserves the second fanfare. That was especially because of the manner in which it happened, right? Like, Cure was so active. He was hyper aggressive every single game. Every single game, Cure won the game because of his multi-pronged aggression, because of his micro, his control, his harassment. He was pulling apart Dark. There were a couple of moments where, like, his build was working in his favor. I think the biggest one that comes to mind is Ancient Cistern, Game 2. Game 2 was one off of the back of that Banshee, for example. That one Cloak Banshee that started the ball rolling in favor of Cure. But in Game 1 and Game 3, there wasn't too much, like, trickiness to it. It was more just Cure just having such solid control, such solid drop play as well. You could argue that, you know, Dark going into Roaches here in game number 3 set him behind a little bit, but that's only because Cure was able to scout him ahead of time, was able to react properly as well, and shut Dark down, and Dark was kind of playing on the back foot for the majority of that game. It can just be so difficult keeping up with Roach Ravager. It's just such an immobile army compared to Lingbane, for example. And GG, well played. Congratulations to Cure for becoming this week's champion in such a dominant manner as well. And keep an eye on him, because Cure is playing in GSL in a couple of days. In 4 days. In just 4 short days, Cure is going to be there in the GSL studio, looking to make it further in that tournament, and he's looking pretty good. He's looking pretty in form. Oh boy. There we go. With that, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Had a great broadcast here with the KSL. we'll see what happens with everything else, though. Again, if you want to support the CranKy Ducklings, ! Patreon in the chat. We do have a Patreon down there to support the tournaments that we fund. But that may change in the future. We'll see. For those wondering, this morning we were supposed to cast our own tournament, the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. It's our bi-weekly tournament that's region locked for NA, Latin America, and Asia as well. But we didn't get to play it. We didn't get to run it because of low signups. And that happened last time as well. For the past 2 editions of the Tenacious Turtle Tussle, there've been a lack of signups and we just haven't been able to run the tournament. We're going to try and do it 1 or maybe 2 more times, and if there isn't any interest from the players, I mean, at the end of the day, we're hosting these tournaments for the players, and if the players aren't interested, then we may just scrap that idea. We may just put our tournaments, at least the Tenacious Turtle Tussle, on hiatus. And it's a double-edged sword, right? Like, it's a shame that we would have to say goodbye to one of our tournaments, especially because we invested. It was quite expensive. Quite expensive, commissioning the logos and the overlays and everything for our turtle and hosting the events as well. But if we do end up stopping, if we do stop running it, then that will mean that the Patreon goal gets lowered because we only have to pay for 2 tournaments instead of 3, I guess. So I guess it'll make our goal more attainable. But yeah, it would be a shame. Would be a shame. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see if we're able to spark more interest in the NA scene. I know the North American scene has shrunk. It has shrunk over time. Same with the Latin American scene. It has also shrunk over time as well. So I know that there aren't as many active players, and even though that's why we're running our tournaments, that's like, we know that obviously these regions are struggling and we want to support them. That's why we're hosting it. But again, if the players themselves are a little bit doomer, or they're like a little bit unmotivated to play anyway, then it's like, I mean, well, what more can we do? Like, yeah. So we'll see what happens. We're not having that issue with our other tournaments, like GPO and the Sparkling Tuna Cup. They're thriving quite well. I'm really happy with them. GPO, of course, is our Oceanic and Southeast Asian tournament that has pretty good signups, and I mean, especially because we now include China, so we get a lot of Chinese players signing up for that. And Sparkling Tuna Cup, we always get a lot of Europeans for that. You know, we get players like, you know, from like Night Phoenix and Wayne and Eba and all that stuff, and even Koreans as well. But yeah, it's just our turtle tournament has been struggling, unfortunately. So I don't know, if you're interested, maybe spread the word about it. From my understanding, players do know about it. It's just, yeah, it's just maybe just not interested. So if that's the case, we'll have to switch some things up. But regardless, our next broadcast is going to be in a couple of hours. We're going to be live in 5 hours. Let me just double check. We're going to be live once again in 5 hours and 27 minutes, so 5.5 hours, with day number 3 of World Team League. We're going to be featuring Onside Gaming versus Abydos. It's going to be so good. Onside versus Abydos, and Berserker versus Dragon Kaizi Gaming. So if you want some more Korean Starcraft, we have you covered in 5 hours. So mark your calendars, mark your alarms. We're going to be live on this channel with the last day of WTL. The last day of this round, of this week, I should say. 3 days in a row, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. An ! Patreon in the chat if you want to support us. Otherwise, if you want to support Korean Starcraft, if you want to support the KSL, ! KSL in the chat for the Patreon for the KSL. Likewise, they do also, because of the community, because of that Patreon, we're able to host this every single week, and the prize pool for the KSL is insane. So yeah, you can also be a part of that as well. You gain access to replay packs, and you also gain access to the Discord server. I believe there's a KSL Discord server for the people, so you can check that out as well. Definitely do. Outside of that, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for your support. We're going to be heading off here. We're going to be heading off for the day, but stick around. We're going to be giving another Starcraft streamer a raid. We're going to be sending them our love and support, and give them a chance. I'm sure that you'll be finding quite a lot of entertainment over there. We're going to be raiding Babyling, of course, a good friend of the channel, good supporter as well. So yeah, Give her some love. Give her some love. Outside of that, anything else? Exclamation mark light in the chat if you want to follow me on my own personal channel. I don't stream too consistently anymore. I need to stream more. It's just we've been casting. We've been casting a lot, so I haven't had the time to stream, but I'll try and be more consistent with my ladder sessions and my streams. Yeah, you can follow me there if you're interested in my Zerg ladder gameplay. I also play some Diablo with Asher. We haven't played Diablo in a while. I'm worried the Diablo season is about to start, the new season, and we haven't even finished the campaign. We're still working through the campaign, so I'm worried that we're not going to be able to finish the campaign before the reset. So we'll try to play this week. We'll try our best. Outside of that, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you guys in 5 hours for World Team League. See you then. Bye.